I know it's nowhere near as cold here in Florida as it is in the rest of the country right now, but it's still cold for us. So I've been out here playing with this old antique cook stove, wood stove cook stove. I got off a neighbor, and it's in rough shape, and I haven't even started to restore it. And when I say restore it, I just want to get it working so that I can use it out here in the outdoor kitchen. But I thought today I'd build a fire in it and just see how it did. And once you get the fire going uh, and get rid of the smoke, it does pretty darn good. But that is not what this video is about. I want to finish up my medical backpack 3-tier system series of videos. We've gone over the RUCK and the TRUCK, but we haven't talked about the butt very much. So if you haven't watched the previous videos, I got a hold of a couple of these SOTEC medical bags, trauma bags, and out of them I've come up with a 3-tier system, which would be butt, what you wear on your butt, RUCK, because this is actually a backpack that's a medical wear, and TRUCK, a large oversized bag that while you could carry it, you wouldn't want to carry it far, and it's just got a lot more stuff in it, so you would want to keep it in a vehicle. And I've covered the two, the RUCK and the TRUCK, pretty well as I want to, because nothing's more boring than going over somebody's medical kit. But I thought I would hit on the butt versions that I have around just real quick and finish up the series. Now, I have a lot of medical kits. I have medical kits dedicated to each vehicle. I have a med kit dedicated to my my dedicated deuce gear. I have a medical kit with my hunting gear, and I have one with my shooting gear that I take to the range. But these are just 3, we'll call them extra kits, that are indicative of 3 types of medical kits you might carry, or that I have built for carry. And you may have different opinions on it. And we're just going to look at each one real quickly. I promise I will not go into great detail about what's in there, but just real quickly so you can see where I'm thinking. Now, first of all, I've got this little grenade pouch, and that's what this is. This is a grenade pouch, Air Force issue, and I've dyed it to get rid of some of that sage color. And inside I have an old school 4x7 compression bandage and a T4 tourniquet, and that fits in there pretty tight. You can throw it on your deuce gear, you can throw it on your war belt, and you barely notice it. And it would be the basics, like the very basics for self-care if something traumatic was to happen to you in the shooting, knifing type arena. I mean, just real basic. All right. Next, we have a GP kit that I built, and I built it around the old school Alice era first aid kit. Now, this was the Marine Corps first aid kit back when I was in, and these cases here are so hard to find now. I think I've got 2 left. I can't find them anywhere. The pouches they go in, actually, I can find, but I can't find the cases. I don't know if they just decided to go soft shell and not provide the cases or what, but I kind of like, I get all misty-eyed when I see these things. So what I've got in here, first of all, the top of the case always had room for a compression bandage, and we would take some extra safety pins off of our bandoliers and put up there, because you never knew when you might need a safety pin. So that fits up there, and that'll shut down on top of that case, and you can take advantage of that extra room. Inside, I've placed 1 burn dressing, some rehydration salts, antidiarrheal and Benadryl, triple antibiotic, and then here I've got both, it says Advil, I know, but I've got both NSAID and aspirin. A little bit of tape, a little bit of gauze, a triangular bandage, and this is just a packet full of Band-Aids, a little bit of gauze, and some moleskin. So that's just a GP first aid kit. The closest thing you could come to for any kind of traumatic wound would be this 1 compression dressing. But believe it or not, back when I was in the Marine Corps, this was all we carried. We didn't have tourniquets. Tourniquets were a no-no in the medical field up until, well, no, not through the Gulf War. I was there for that. Um, through the global war on terror. And the medical community used to advise us not to carry tourniquets because they were afraid we'd do more harm than good. And I'm glad to see that's turned around. And tourniquets are much more common, and people are trained to use them and do use them. And I think that's because they were shown to be a real lifesaver in the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. But back in my day, we didn't have them unless we got them ourselves, and so that compression bandage would be really the only thing you would have for real traumatic injury. But that's just a GP kind of first aid kit that I've built around this old style plastic box first aid kit. And the last first aid kit I wanted to show you was this, probably my favorite individual first aid kit, or IFAC. It's a really nice one. Well, maybe not my favorite. There's one that actually comes out. You rip it open, it just comes out, and I have that in my shooting gear. But this is one of my favorites. I think it's just a really nice pouch. I keep the TK4 tourniquet right here, so it's easy to get to. But I just like it once you open it up, everything is just right there. And what I carry in there is, first of all, an Israeli-style dressing. What size is that? I don't see. It's that style, but I don't see whether it's a 4 or 6 or what it is. But anyway. And then I got a TK4 tourniquet, which I like these a lot. Some quick clot and eye shield dressing, regular old bandage, triangular bandage, and then 2 different size petroleum burn dressings. And then over here I've got some gauze for packing and a pair of scissors, and of course gloves right there. And that still is just an IFAC. It's just an individual kind of thing, but it's a little more wide-ranging as far as what you can do with it. I could put some more stuff in there. There's room. I could probably put some more burn dressings and gauze and maybe another quick clot or bleed stop. But that's just a really nice bag, and really that's enough to carry in that one bag for an IFAC. So there you have it. Those are just 3 examples of what would be the butt tier of the first aid kit, from just basic and minimum to more of a GP to a little bit more of a trauma type IFAC or first aid kit. And really I tailor them to what I'm doing. My shooting IFAC, which I think I've done a video on, I'm not sure, is really geared toward tourniquets and gauze and bleed stop and stuff like that, whereas the GPs, might be aimed a little more toward Benadryl, antidiarrheal, and hydration salts and things like that. But I just wanted to put a cap on this whole 3-tier butt, ruck, truck, I got it right, trauma kit system that I've played with and come up with and am using. And I just want to thank you for going along with me.